Hey folks, your OS Reviews. You're watching our video first look and a quick review of the Borofone BE10. This is a mini wireless Bluetooth earphone kit. It's innovative because it's actually a 2-in-1 set. Basically, there is a detachable unit that it acts as a traditional Bluetooth headset, so you can wear it in your ears to talk and communicate with business conferences, things like that. But then you can plug it into this lanyard strap and then attach the earphones and transform it into a wireless pair of earbuds for listening to stereo music. So it has a very interesting kind of 2-in-1 design for a price that's relatively affordable of around $35. Comes in a few different colors. We have the red version for review purposes. It uses Bluetooth version 4.1 to connect to an Android or iOS device without any problems. And again, it does have a relatively good noise isolating mic that's better than your typical pair of in-ear style headphones, just because it is a traditional Bluetooth headset. Now, the only kind of downside that I can find is that the battery life is rated at 4 hours for audio playback and for communication. That's a little low. Sometimes with just dedicated Bluetooth earphones, we tend to see 5 or 6, 7 hours. So perhaps part of that is because this requires more energy to drive, all the modular parts coming together. So contents of the packaging include the in-ear style headphones, which are made out of aluminum and matches the color of the Bluetooth headset piece. You can see the wiring has also been made out of this acrylic material to prevent tangling and damage. And basically it's just a pair of almost regular looking earphones, except it has this proprietary end cap that attaches using micro USB and transforms regular earbuds into wireless Bluetooth ones using the Bluetooth headset's wireless Bluetooth receptor. So setting this off to the side and taking a look at the Bluetooth kind of earpiece here, also made out of the same color and material. It's predominantly made out of aluminum, so it feels quite sturdy. There is the Borofone logo on the top, the microphone, which is noise canceling. There's also dedicated power switch on the side, and volume rockers for power key also acts as a play pause key or answer reject call key once it's turned on. There's some basic specs located on the back, and you can see here that the earpiece here is also slightly slanted with a wing that catches on the outsides of the ear to prevent it from falling loose when you're walking around or jogging. Basically, I can pull off this end cap here that houses again, this traditional earpiece for Bluetooth headsets, and then transform it, again, modularly. Just like a Moto Mod or any other modular electronics these days, you can easily unhinge it and then pop it onto another piece. So in this case, I've attached the stereo in-ear style headphones now, so it looks like this. So certainly very interesting in how this part can be freely interchanged and swapped out. So when you're using it as earphones, basically this part dangles like a necklace in front of your shirt, whereas these two are inserted into your ears. So there's definitely a bit more of a wiring situation going on compared to completely true wireless earbuds or other versions we've seen in the past. So perhaps not the best thing in the world if you are consistently jogging or using them for sports, but at the same time you do have the ability to swap them out for two very different functions. Inside this hardshell carrying case, we also have access to the micro USB cable for charging the Bluetooth module. It takes about, again, 2 hours to completely charge. There's even a larger wing, which you can attach onto the Bluetooth headset to get a easier grip, again, for movement. Finally, there are spare silicone tips to change the ear canal size if they aren't fitting in too comfortably, again, on the in-ear style headphones. So pairing this up using a phone is actually pretty simple. Just hold on the power key for about 5 seconds or so, and you'll see a LED light start to flash red and blue, and that means you've entered the pairing mode, as you can see there. Next, just find the Borofone under the list of Bluetooth devices on your phone, and you're ready to go. And now, of course, the volume keys will control the sound and loudness on playing back music, and it works without any issues or hassles. So let's discuss the sound quality of these first. When I did a bit of testing earlier, I was actually surprisingly impressed with the stereo earbuds on here. They get actually quite loud, and impressively they pack in a nice amount of bass as well for lower frequencies. And that means if you're listening to EDM music or classical music, you'll be pleased by hearing these extra details that requires a wider frequency and, again, more bass. There's also an interesting curve on the outsides that reminds me a little bit of the Apple AirPods. Basically, this part naturally rests on the insides of your ears and prevents it from falling out too easily when you are kind of shaking your head around or moving around. Now, I do wish that the cable was made out of a flat ribbon wire instead of a traditional round wire, just because it still does tangle a little bit easily. Also, the end caps of these earphones aren't magnetic, so you can see that, again, there can be a bit of a tangling issue if you just randomly, pop these into your pocket after listening to music. With that being said, overall the construction is good, and most importantly, the sound quality of the earbuds sound very good. They get quite loud. The Bluetooth connection range is around 10 meters or 33 feet. I experience very little latency and very little lag, static, or distortion, and that means after pausing the video on my phone, it basically instantly pauses the sound over here, and there's no kind of hissing in the background. Also, the video and the sound are synced up properly without any issues there, so it can definitely be used for watching movies without any problems. It's fairly noise isolating just by the nature of its design. It's comfortable to wear for about 3 to 4 hours without noticing too much stress or strain, and it blocked out a good percentage of the outside world. Obviously not as good as Comply foam tips or active noise canceling earphones, but all in all, actually fairly impressive. I would still recommend maybe sitting down and wearing these, just because, again, this part is kind of over basically your chest when you're actually moving around, so that produces a little bit of wiring noise and also a little bit of added weight. So if you are consistently bogging up and down, it might kind of drag you down a little bit or pull the earbuds down. However, if you're sitting in one spot, it actually works quite well, and I encountered no real issues as far as ergonomics are concerned. So overall, the build here and the sound are excellent. So switching over next to the Bluetooth earpiece, let's actually pop off the adapter here and swap into this one. And we kind of align it a little bit and then attach it. The same thing can be said, really. The driver used on the Bluetooth headset, I suspect, is the same as they use on the earpiece here. It produces a very similar sound signature in terms of being quite loud and having a fairly natural reproduction of sound where you can hear your callers without any problems. The built-in microphone also, again, is noise canceling, which is great if you're outdoors and in noisy environments. It cancels out any of the ambient noise, which is, again, very good. Since that does have the form factor of a traditional Bluetooth headset, the microphone is naturally closer to your mouth, and as a result more easily picks up your voice and sound, and our callers experience no issues in our testing. So that was also pretty good. Obviously, you're not going to be using this for listening to music quite as much, since it's a mono earbud and not stereo, but again, for voice calls, it does a good job. So that's pretty much it as far as a first impressions hands-on review of this very interesting 2-in-1 Borofone BE10 kit. I have to say I like the aluminum design, I like the build, and of course I like the sound. There still are a few ergonomic issues to work out in terms of having a completely modular kit, such as having extra wires that I think can be simplified, as well as having this part maybe having a clip on the back so it doesn't take up as much weight when you're wearing them just for music listening. But overall, again, I like the direction this is going. I think it's a unique, innovative product I've never seen before, and it matches that trend of going for more modular electronics that doesn't produce as much excess waste when you can have many functions stacked into one interchangeable product. So thanks for watching this video here at OS Reviews. This was our video review of the Borofone BE10.